Please turn to responsive reading number 512. We give thanks this day. For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imagination.
We give thanks this day.
For this fragile planet Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons.
We give thanks this day.
For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements.
We give thanks this day.
For our human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression.
We give thanks this day.
For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared.
We give thanks this day.
For all who have labored and suffered for the fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom.
We give thanks this day.
For human liberty and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose.
We give thanks this day. We pray that we may live not by our fears, but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds.
So we are going to do something different this year. On Thanksgiving Sunday each year, we introduce the Guest Enter Table program by the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee. And on some years, Judy and I have done some very silly things to try to introduce that program to you. On some years, we've done some very serious things. And this year, we thought we would let the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee introduce itself to our congregation. And so we have a video that they produced and that was edited by Jason Brown because it was just a little bit too long. And thank you so much, Jason, for doing that. And Marcus made it happen on his computer so that it can happen here in the room. So we're going to listen to the president of the UUSC, Bill Schultz. Bill is the former president of our Unitarian Universalist Association and now the president of UUSC.
We are a human rights organization that advances social justice around the world, challenging oppressive policies and power structures that create inequality. We are rooted in Unitarian Universalist values and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. We focus our human rights work in 4 areas: humanitarian disasters, water, workers' rights, and civil liberties. We work with partner organizations.
I think the most amazing part about this script is really working with grassroots organizations on the ground in Haiti who've been working here for up to 20 years, and so it's not just a media group that's gonna come and go. It's really sustainable.
We are serving people left out of traditional relief aid. All people affected by humanitarian crises have an equal right to aid and assistance with dignity.
We are providing food to 5,000 families.
We're working for access to safe and affordable water for everyone.
I have to confess, like a lot of other environmentally active people, there are a lot of things that involve the water issue that I have not been aware of until this last year.
In my family, in my neighborhood, in my community, and in my extended family throughout the world, I see people struggling
affordable water for daily human needs, and that's what the human right to water is.
We are helping workers organize, encouraging fair trade, and pushing for a living wage. Making a living is essential to human dignity. We are defending freedoms and individual liberties that protect people from abuses of governmental power.
I am so proud to say that our little comic book about Martin Luther King and the Montgomery story, which we have cooperated with UUSC a couple of years ago to translate into Arabic and publish all over the Middle East and distribute all over the Middle East, has been credited now for being the reason for inspiring as many young people all over the region about adopting nonviolent actions and techniques in their work.
We are working to influence policymakers who make key decisions for human rights.
I look at rights as things that are required for life that we can actually do something in the legal framework about. So it's essential to life, and so I fully support any effort to codify that, to actually put that into law and make sure that people realize that we actually have an obligation in our actions to take care of things because other people are involved in it, not just us.
You know, legislators have a lot of issues on their plate. It makes a difference when you contact them. It makes a difference when you write. It makes a difference that you speak up.
We are mobilizing people to take action through our successful advocacy campaigns.
Get involved in the decision-making process. And if the issue isn't being raised, then you need to raise it.
It's not enough to express your opinions online. It's not enough to complain online. But you should move to the on-ground, do something efficient.
We are providing learning experiences and service opportunities for people to witness human rights in action in the U.S. and around the world. We are training a new generation of youth activists. We are helping new congregations put their values to work and be effective agents for social change.
I believe that we can take our values and build institutions around them that will outlive us and do more than anyone else can do alone. And that institutionalizing passion matters, and that one of the institutions we as Unitarian Universalists have is the Service Committee, with a proud and wonderful history.
We are more than 40,000 members and supporters who feel that human rights are the greatest causes worth investing in, who don't just dream of a better world, but take action for justice. UUSC envisions a world free from injustice where all can realize their full human rights. We're UUSC. Join us and take action.
Thank you for what you did to us. UUSC. Thank you for what you did to us. Asante, asante. Thank you for what you did.
My mentor early in ministry, Bob Carnan, the late Bob Carnan, once said to me that the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee gave action to our Unitarian Universalist values in a way that gave legitimacy to Unitarian Universalism to be able to make the claims that we make about making a difference and changing the world. And hopefully what you were able to see in that video was just how the UUSC is involved in so many ways in the world to make a difference. This is the time we begin the guest at your table. program, Guest at Your Table, is really an invitation to us to be a part of the efforts of the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee. But that invitation is given to us by inviting us to invite the stranger to our own table. And how many of you have used UUSC boxes in the past? Are you ready for this? They are phasing out the boxes. We have a number of them here this year. This is probably going to be the last year that the boxes will exist. There's a bunch on the chancel table. There's a bunch in the narthex. If you use one in your house, go ahead and take one. Otherwise, there are envelopes on the chancel as well as envelopes in the narthex. And if you do it as I do, just by writing a check, that's quite acceptable as well. And if you want to start turning those in now, that's fine. We'll make a push for returning those in the beginning of January after the holiday season. And I just want to point out, many of you are familiar with this already, but your contributions will allow you membership to the UUSC. For students, $10, for individuals, $40 for senior citizens. It's $20 for families, it's $75, and if you give a total of $100, each $100 donation will be matched by an equal gift from the Unitarian Universalist congregation at Shelter Rock. So I invite you to this season of Guest at Your Table, to thinking of making a difference in the lives of those that we are able to make a difference through the efforts of the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee. May your roots grow deep, your branches spread far, may you find the world to be a wonderful place and leave it even better for those who follow. And now for just a little bit of silliness. So I was at the grocery store the other day, and the checkout clerk was very, very cheerful, a young man, and I said, "You must have picked up a ton of groceries today." And he said, and I asked him, I said, "How can you be so pleasant after picking up all those groceries?" And the young man said, "Well, we can all count our blessings. The hardest part of the job, of course, is turkeys and watermelons, and at this time of the year, I just thank God that Thanksgiving doesn't come in July." See, because in July, it'll be the month. You got it, George? Okay, good. So, we pick up what we have to pick up. We help in ways that we need to help. And we come together to remind ourselves of what it is that we're here to do. This month we are sharing our riches with the Unitarian Universalist United Nations organization. And so I'll invite you now to give as generously as you might to our Sunday morning offering.